Have you ever wondered why some people stay sharp, strong, and full of life well into their 90s while others begin to face serious health issues just after 60? The surprising answer is this: the difference doesn't always come down to medication or genetics. Sometimes, it's something as simple as daily personal hygiene. Sounds strange, doesn't it? But I assure you it's not an exaggeration. After decades of working in senior health and long-term care, I've seen one troubling pattern emerge. As we age, the body becomes far more vulnerable to mistakes in hygiene. Mistakes that may seem small but quietly invite serious consequences. An unnoticed rash, an improper bathing routine, or ignoring subtle changes in the skin. These can be the gateway to infections, weakened immunity, and chronic diseases that silently chip away at both independence and longevity. But you're not here because you're afraid. You're here because you care. You want to stay informed, stay empowered. And that's something I deeply respect, because hygiene, especially in later life, isn't just about cleanliness. It's about dignity. It's a powerful way to protect your body, maintain your confidence, and preserve your quality of life. Physical and mental health are deeply connected. When you feel clean, refreshed, and confident in your body, your mind follows. You sleep better. You carry yourself with pride. You show up for life. But when hygiene routines are neglected or done incorrectly over time, they can slowly erode your body's defenses, your skin health, and even your emotional well-being. The good news: it's never too late to turn things around. Even if you're in your 60s, 70s, or 80s, you can still restore your body's natural barriers and strengthen your health. No expensive products. No complicated treatments. Just small, practical changes that add up to a big difference. In today's video, I want to walk you through some of the most common but also most overlooked hygiene mistakes that many older adults unknowingly make. This isn't about judgment. It's about awareness. Because once you understand what's going wrong, you can take control and do what's right for your body and your future. Before we dive in, I invite you to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a health tip made just for you. And if this video helps you in any way, type 1 in the comments to let me know. If not, type 0 and tell me how I can do better for you and for our community. Now, take a deep breath, and let's begin this honest, respectful, and important conversation about protecting your most valuable asset, your health. Now let me ask you something personal. When was the last time you truly thought about your mouth? Not just for a smile or a sip of tea, but as a critical gateway to your heart and your brain. See, most of us were taught that brushing our teeth, it is about keeping our breath fresh or avoiding cavities. But after age 60, this simple act takes on a far greater meaning. Poor oral hygiene isn't just a dental issue anymore. It becomes a silent systemic threat. And unfortunately, many older adults don't realize that neglecting their mouths may quietly be contributing to heart disease, memory loss, or even premature aging. Here's the reality. As the immune system weakens with age, your mouth becomes more vulnerable to harmful bacteria. Bleeding gums, loose teeth, or chronic dry mouth. These aren't just signs of aging to shrug off. They are distress signals. When inflammation builds up in the gums, bacteria can enter your bloodstream. And once inside, they don't stop in the mouth. They travel, infiltrating the arteries, burdening the heart, and in some cases, interfering with blood flow to the brain. Yes, you heard that right. Something as minor as gum inflammation can increase your risk of heart attacks, strokes, and even cognitive decline. This isn't fear-mongering, it's medical reality. Research from major health institutions has linked periodontal disease to cardiovascular complications and neurodegenerative disorders in older adults. And yet, despite the science, countless seniors still skip dental visits, often because of cost concerns, mobility issues, or a belief that dentures replace the need for oral care. But let me be clear, even if you no longer have your natural teeth, your mouth still needs daily attention. The tissues, tongue, and gums can still harbor bacteria. Proper hygiene is not optional. It's protective. So what can you do right now without waiting for the next appointment or needing expensive solutions? Start simple. Replace your toothbrush every 3 months, or switch to an electric toothbrush for more effective cleaning with less strain. Brush gently for 2 full minutes, twice a day. Floss every evening even if your teeth are few. And perhaps most importantly, schedule regular dental checkups, whether you have real teeth, partials, or dentures. Prevention is cheaper and far kinder than treatment, and don't underestimate how this all affects how you feel inside. Clean, pain-free oral health improves your ability to eat, speak, and smile, all of which directly influence self-esteem, mood, and social connection. There's something profoundly healing about being able to enjoy food without discomfort, or laugh without hiding your mouth. Because remember, your mouth isn't just the beginning of your digestive tract, it's the beginning of your entire health story. And if oral care can have such a deep impact on your heart and brain, just imagine what's at stake when we overlook something as large and exposed as our skin. Let's move on to the next hygiene mistake, one that's more common than you think, and potentially just as dangerous. If your mouth can quietly signal heart disease, what could your skin be trying to tell you? It might sound surprising, But skipping regular showers in older age doesn't just affect body odor or personal comfort. It may actually hide warning signs that your body is pleading for help, signals that, if caught early, could prevent serious illness as we grow older. It's not uncommon to feel less motivated to bathe daily. Perhaps energy levels have dipped, or there's a real fear of slipping in the shower. Sometimes dry, sensitive skin in colder months makes bathing feel more like a punishment than self-care. But what many seniors don't realize is that infrequent bathing does more than allow sweat or dirt to linger. It can obscure the earliest visual signs of systemic disease. Your skin, after all, is not just a barrier. It's your body's largest organ and one of the most revealing mirrors of internal dysfunction. Long before a diagnosis is ever made, conditions like type 2 diabetes, kidney stress, liver imbalances, or heart problems may quietly surface as dryness, discoloration, or unusual texture changes. But when bathing happens only once a week or even less, these subtle clues may go unnoticed, not just by you, but also by doctors who rely on regular observation to intervene early. And this is not about vanity, this is about visibility. Being able to observe and tend to your skin regularly is an act of self-awareness and ultimately self-preservation. A simple shift to bathing at least 3 times a week can be transformative. Use a gentle, fragrance-free cleanser to protect your skin's natural oils. After drying, apply a light hydrating moisturizer to keep the barrier strong, especially around your arms, legs, and back, where dryness and cracks tend to appear. But, more importantly, make the bathing routine a moment to check in with your body. Are there new dry patches, persistent itching, unusual rashes, or changes in color? These small details can tell a much bigger story about your health. Regular cleansing doesn't just cleanse the body, it sharpens the mind. Seniors who maintain hygiene habits often report higher self-esteem, better sleep quality, and even improved cognitive clarity. The act of caring for your skin gently, deliberately can reconnect you with your body in powerful ways, especially in times of change. And if your skin is already offering hints, what might your nails be trying to reveal? That small crescent at the base of your nail, that ridged surface, that yellow tint, it may be whispering something vital you've overlooked for too long. Let's move into the next hidden hygiene mistake, one that might be sitting right at your fingertips. If your skin has a story to tell, then your nails might just be shouting one, and it's time we started listening. When was the last time you looked closely at your fingernails or toenails, not for beauty, but for signs of your inner health? For many older adults, changes in the nails are brushed off as cosmetic concerns or inevitable effects of aging. A yellow toenail, a thickened edge, a brittle tip, surely just annoying quirks, right? But here's the truth. Your nails are far more than a canvas for polish or trimming. They are subtle but powerful indicators of what's going on deep inside your body. In fact, some doctors refer to nails as windows into systemic health. Why? Because these keratinized tips on our fingers and toes often show early signs of conditions like anemia, thyroid dysfunction, liver stress, cardiovascular disease, and poor circulation long before symptoms appear elsewhere. When nails become unusually ridged, brittle, or discolored, your body may be warning you about nutrient deficiencies or oxygen delivery problems. Bluish tones or pale nail beds can suggest reduced blood flow or even respiratory inefficiencies. Thickened yellow toenails may point to a fungal infection, but that's not the whole story. In those with weakened immune systems or diabetes, such infections can become persistent, spread to surrounding tissues, and lead to complications far beyond the foot. This isn't about chasing perfection, it's about practicing awareness. Maintaining nail health starts with attention, not just trimming. Begin by checking your nails weekly. Look for changes in shape, color, or texture. Trim nails straight across with gently rounded edges to prevent painful ingrown nails, especially on the toes. Keep them clean and dry to reduce bacterial and fungal risks. Wear breathable footwear and change socks daily, particularly important if you experience poor circulation or diabetes-related neuropathy. But beyond technique, there's something deeper at play. Caring for your nails, however small the task may seem, can restore a sense of control and dignity. In moments where health feels uncertain or aging feels unkind, these small acts of self-care offer a grounding ritual that reconnects body and mind. You notice more, you respond sooner, you take ownership, so the next time your hand reaches for something, take a second look. Your nails might be offering a quiet but urgent message long before lab results do. They deserve more than a quick glance, they deserve your attention. And yet, even as we raise awareness about these visible signs, there's one hygiene concern that often remains invisible, not because it's unimportant, but because it's deeply private. A topic many older adults avoid discussing. Even with their doctor, it's personal, it's emotional, and in some cases it can be life-threatening. Let's talk about the hygiene mistake no one wants to admit, but more than half of seniors silently struggle with. If your nails can reveal hidden imbalances, what about the parts of your body no one sees, no one talks about, but that deeply affect your health and dignity? Let me ask you, what happens when something so personal becomes so uncomfortable that we stop talking about it, even with our doctor? Among all the challenges aging brings, one of the most overlooked and most isolating is urinary incontinence, and yet, it affects more than half of all older adults in some form. That number alone should be enough to start a conversation, but shame often silences what should be treated with compassion and science to many older adults. Quietly manage bladder leaks with pads, extra clothing, or avoidance strategies, never mentioning it to anyone. And I understand why it feels private, embarrassing, perhaps even normal with age. But here's the truth. While common, incontinence is not inevitable, and it's certainly not something you should just put up with. Why does this matter so much? Because what begins as a minor leak can have consequences that ripple across your physical, mental, and emotional health. Constant moisture against the skin can lead to irritation, painful sores, or recurring infections. Over time, the effort to hide accidents leads to limiting outings, avoiding social situations, and quietly slipping into isolation. It's not just the bladder that suffers, it's the human spirit. But even more concerning, bladder leakage may not be the root problem. It may be a symptom of something more serious: urinary tract infections, prostate disorders, pelvic floor dysfunction, or even early signs of neurological disease. Ignoring it doesn't make it go away. It simply postpones care and increases risk. So, what can you do if you or someone you love is silently facing this challenge? The first step is honesty with yourself and with your healthcare provider. This isn't about weakness, it's about awareness. There are real, effective solutions, from protective hygiene products designed for comfort and discretion to pelvic floor therapy, medications, and medical interventions. The sooner you bring it into the light, the more options you have to regain control and confidence. And let's not forget the emotional toll. Living in fear of an accident can rob you of spontaneity and joy. But healing starts when you choose dignity over denial. You are not alone. You are not broken. And you deserve care that allows you to fully engage with life without hiding or fear. Because the greatest danger is not the leak itself, it's the silence surrounding it. And speaking of silence, there's one daily hygiene habit many people don't think twice about. Yet it could be putting your hearing and balance at risk. A small, common mistake involving your ears could be quietly causing more harm than you ever imagined. Let's talk about it, because what you do with a cotton swab may be far more serious than it seems. We've talked about silence and shame around intimate health, but what about the quiet habits we don't even question? Could something as routine as cleaning your ears actually be putting your hearing and balance at risk? It's a habit, so ingrained that few ever stop to reconsider it. Reaching for a cotton swab, gently probing into the ear canal, believing we're doing something good for our hygiene. But what if I told you that this everyday motion, so familiar, so satisfying, could quietly lead to long-term damage? Especially in older adults, the ear canal becomes more delicate with age. The skin thins, balance becomes more sensitive, and the risks of internal irritation grow. What most people don't realize is that cotton swabs don't remove wax effectively, they often push it deeper, compacting it against the eardrum. This not only leads to blockages and temporary hearing loss, but also opens the door to infections, inflammation, or in severe cases, a ruptured eardrum. Medical reports suggest that nearly 40% of ear-related injuries in seniors stem from improper ear cleaning, and while that may seem like a small statistic, the consequences can be profound. Loss of hearing in older adults is not merely an inconvenience, it's a significant risk factor for cognitive decline, depression, social isolation, and increased falls due to disturbed equilibrium. Think about it: when you can't hear clearly, you withdraw, conversations become harder, music becomes noise, your connection to the world slowly fades. And balance. Your ears play a central role in spatial orientation. Damage to the inner ear can quietly unsettle your ability to stay steady, walk confidently, or even rise from a chair without dizziness. The good news: most of this is entirely preventable. Healthy ear care starts with restraint, not action. Clean only the outer ear, using a warm, damp cloth. Avoid inserting anything into the canal. No swabs, no clips, no improvised tools. If you feel wax buildup, itching, discomfort, or sudden hearing changes, consult a medical professional. They can safely assess and remove excess wax without risking injury. And if hearing loss is suspected, early intervention with hearing tests and devices can dramatically preserve quality of life. Protecting your ears isn't just about avoiding pain, it's about protecting your presence, your ability to laugh with friends, to hear your grandchildren, to stay alert and confident. Your hearing keeps you connected to others and to yourself. And yet, as crucial as hearing is, there's another body part, even more neglected one, that often hides its warnings until it's almost too late. It's easy to miss, tucked inside socks and shoes, but what your feet are trying to tell you might just save your life. Let's explore that next. If your ears can quietly signal balance issues and cognitive risks, what about your feet, the very foundation that carries you through every day? Let me ask you this: when was the last time you really looked at your feet, not just to trim your nails, but to listen to what they might be trying to tell you? For many older adults, foot care becomes an afterthought, out of sight, out of mind. But what's happening beneath your socks could be far more than dry skin or cracked heels. In fact, your feet may be the first place to reveal early signs of serious internal conditions like diabetes, neuropathy, poor circulation, or even heart disease. The tragedy: most people only notice their feet after there's pain, but by then the damage may already be underway. Small blisters, fungal infections, or dry reddened areas might seem minor at first, but in someone with reduced circulation or blood sugar imbalances, these small issues can spiral quickly, leading to deep infections, tissue breakdown, and in some cases, amputation. This isn't just about comfort, it's about preserving your mobility, your independence, and in many cases your life. Research shows that up to 85% of diabetes-related amputations in older adults could be prevented with proper daily foot care and early detection. That's a staggering statistic and a powerful reminder of how something as simple as observation can become life-saving. So what does smart foot hygiene look like? It starts with washing your feet thoroughly, especially between the toes, then drying them completely. Moisturize dry skin, but never between the toes where excess moisture can lead to fungal growth. But above all, make it a habit to observe. Are there any red spots, swelling, discoloration, numbness, or wounds that aren't healing? These are not cosmetic flaws, they are your body's early warning signals, often weeks or months before a serious health issue reveals itself elsewhere. Don't underestimate how much your feet impact your mental and emotional well-being. 2. When your feet hurt or when you're afraid of falling, your confidence drops. You go out less, you withdraw. But healthy feet mean movement, freedom, independence, so treat them like the allies they are. They've carried you through so much of life and they deserve your attention. And yet, even if you've cared for your feet perfectly, there's still one last hygiene mistake that most seniors overlook because it's hiding in plain sight. It has nothing to do with appearance but everything to do with how your body processes toxins and medications. Could something as routine as your laundry habits be silently working against your health? Let's explore this final hidden risk, one that may be closer to your skin than you realize. We've just uncovered how your feet can quietly reveal life-threatening conditions. But what if the real warning signs were even more subtle and hiding behind something as routine as your medications? Here's a question we don't ask often enough. Have you noticed a change in how your body smells, sweats, or feels since starting or adjusting a medication? As we age, relying on multiple prescriptions becomes common, whether to manage blood pressure, diabetes, arthritis, or chronic pain. And while these medications are often essential, what's less talked about is how they can silently influence your body's hygiene and internal function. You may begin to notice strange body odors that weren't there before. Maybe your skin has become persistently dry, or you're sweating excessively even in cool weather. Perhaps your breath or body carries a sour, metallic, or unusual scent, despite good hygiene. Most people brush these off as just getting older, but these changes could be much more than that. They may be your body waving a red flag. Certain medications alter how the liver and kidneys filter out toxins. Others may interfere with your sweat glands, saliva production, or skin's natural oils. These side effects are not merely inconvenient, they could indicate early signs of drug toxicity, organ overload, or harmful interactions between medications. What's especially concerning is that many of these signs go unnoticed, worse, ignored until deeper problems have taken hold. But it doesn't have to be this way. If you've recently started a new medication, increased a dosage, or switched prescriptions, and begin noticing changes like persistent body odor, unusual dryness, or skin discomfort, don't panic, but do pay attention. Keep a simple log. What changed? When did it start? Is it constant or fluctuating? Share this with your doctor. You don't need to self-diagnose or stop taking your meds. You just need to bring your awareness to the table because your observations matter. Remember, hygiene is not only about looking clean, it's about understanding how your body feels, responds, and adapts from the inside out. Monitoring these small, seemingly superficial changes could be the difference between catching a complication early, letting it silently build. And while these 8 hygiene mistakes are important to address, the real lesson is deeper. Caring for yourself isn't just about routines. It's about reclaiming your power, your dignity, and your future. So what's next? What are the daily choices, simple, intentional ones you can make to not just survive, but thrive in your later years? Let's take the next step together and explore the habits that build longevity, clarity, and joy starting today. So now that we've uncovered 8 often overlooked hygiene habits that can silently undermine your health, one truth stands taller than all the rest. You are not powerless. In fact, you have more control than you think, and it begins with the smallest choices you make each day. Aging doesn't mean surrendering to decline. It means becoming more intentional, more aware, and more connected with your body than ever before. Every time you brush your teeth, inspect your skin, check your feet, or simply pay attention to a strange new smell or sensation, you are not just performing a task. You're sending a message to yourself and the world. My health still matters. I still matter. You see, hygiene isn't just about being clean. It's about preserving independence, preventing avoidable complications, and maintaining the energy and clarity to do what you love, with the people you love. And while some of these habits may sound small, their impact isn't. They represent the first line of defense in protecting your body from infections, injuries, organ damage, and even social isolation. And here's the beautiful part. Reclaiming your health doesn't require drastic changes. It doesn't demand expensive supplements or complicated routines. Just a few minutes of mindful self-checks, a commitment to speak up when something feels off, and a willingness to see your hygiene not as a chore but as an act of self-respect and strength. Because every time you care for your body, you're building something larger than you're building confidence, resilience, longevity. You're giving your loved ones something priceless: more years with you, lived well and fully present. So now the question becomes, knowing what you now know, will you act? Will you choose the next small step, whether it's swapping your cotton swab for a warm cloth, scheduling a checkup, or simply inspecting your feet tonight with care and curiosity? Because the truth is, the most dangerous threats to your health are the ones you don't see, or worse, the ones you've learned to ignore. Let's change that one simple habit at a time. If this video has helped you feel more informed or empowered, let us know by typing "I choose health" in the comments. And if you're ready to take your next step towards strength and self-care, subscribe and turn on notifications, because this journey is just beginning, and you deserve to walk it with support. As we close this important conversation, let's take a step back and remember what all of this truly means. You've just explored 9 powerful insights, small hygiene habits that, when overlooked, can quietly affect your heart, your brain, your independence, and your spirit. But more importantly, you've also discovered that each of these habits is within your control. No expensive treatments, no overwhelming changes, just awareness, consistency, and the willingness to care for yourself one mindful moment at a time. From brushing your teeth with purpose to gently observing your feet, from rethinking how you clean your ears to recognizing how medications may be affecting your skin or scent, each simple act becomes a statement. I value my health. I choose to protect my future. Aging doesn't take away your power, it simply asks you to use it more wisely. And you've already taken the first step by being here, by watching, by learning. So now we'd love to hear from you. What's one thing from this video that truly resonated with you? What small change do you feel ready to make starting today? Share your thoughts in the comments. We read every one of them, because this is more than just a video, it's a community, and we're walking this journey together. If this video offered you clarity, strength, or encouragement, consider tapping the like button to let us know. And if you haven't yet, subscribing and turning on notifications is the simplest way to make sure you never miss health content made just for you. Thank you for showing up for yourself and for those who care about you. And remember, your next chapter doesn't begin someday. It begins today with one small, intentional step toward a stronger, more empowered you.